Welcome to my channel, Angel of the South. I'm Miss Jackie. Today I thought I would do a foundation makeup routine for you to show you what I do when I put my makeup on every morning. This foundation routine also includes for those ladies like myself who struggle with oil control issues and trying to keep your face matte through the day. So if you have oil control issues and you would like to see some tips and secrets that might help you out on a daily basis, keep watching. And thanks again. Here's a look at the products that'll be used in today's video. You'll also need a powder puff and a Kleenex. This will help with oil control issues. Let's get started. First thing we want to start off with is the Fit Me foundation. I have enjoyed this foundation since I got it. It is in the 330 and I am using a foundation brush to place that where I want it and where I want to get started on my face. I am wearing the Fit Me in the 330. And we start out by just dotting it on our face from the brush, tapping it on, and then blending it in. Making sure not to do our whole face, just to do in sections and in areas, and that helps to put the foundation where you want to on your face without worrying about some of it drying. And I'm just continuing here to place the foundation, making sure to get my forehead and temple area. And when I get to my eye area, I usually do a patting motion instead of a swiping motion, and that is because you don't want to put too much product around your eye, and the product that you do put around your eye, you want it to stay in place, and it's hard to get it in place with swiping motions. So we just do the blotting or the patting technique around our eyes, and that helps keep our foundation in place, and it also helps to put it where we want to and not get it too close to our eyes without moving it around. So I am continuing to dot around my eyes with the foundation and with the foundation brush. And as I'm dotting around, that just makes sure that the foundation is placed everywhere where I want it. And if you have a good foundation brush, you can also use your hands for this technique, but it can be a bit messy using your hands to lay foundation. So I would rather use a brush because they make such good brushes nowadays for foundation. And you can also use a beauty blender or a sponge for this technique. But I just prefer the brush. And when you get good brushes, it does help to lay it down just like you want it. So at this point, I am going to go in and do some concealing. I'm using the Master Conceal, and this is from Maybelline. And I am just going to dot that right under my eye area, making sure to cover any dark spots. And some ladies like to use the triangle method when spreading this, and I usually just do sort of a half moon, and that is because I have high cheekbones. And ladies that have high cheekbones, you know what I mean. You don't want them to stick out too much because they're high as it is. So I try not to draw too much emphasis on my cheekbones because they're already high. So I do the half moon. Then I go in with a beauty blender and I blend all of that out with my skin. I just blend until I am satisfied that it is blended in like I want to, making sure to pay a little attention to my eyelid area where I have some dark patches, and I was just kind of covering that up with any left dew concealer I had. And at this point, you use the beauty blender to blend everything out just the way you would like it to, and the beauty blender helps to blend it very easily, and I'm using patting motions to put the foundation where I want to without moving it. So in this instance, around the eyes, you always want to pat. Now moving on to our powder, we'll be using the Wet n Wild powder. This is the Coverall press powder, and I will just be placing that right up under my eyes using a nice amount, and we are going to do a bit of baking, as they call it, and I just call it setting. So we're going to set this under our eyes, and then we are going to go on and do a few other things while we let that sit in place. Making sure to put that powder everywhere where you put your concealer. Then I'll go in with another Maybelline product. This is the Rewind, and I'm using this for my highlighter today, and I usually put my highlight on as I do my foundation routine because I found that I could blend it all in better with my skin that way instead of waiting until later on in the makeup process. So I'm beginning to blend that out, going up my nose, and a beauty blender is very good for helping to blend in concealer, and it is to me better than even using your hands because you can place the makeup exactly where you want to, and you can also blend it without spreading it out. I'll use that same powder, that Wet n Wild powder, Coverall powder, and just get the areas that I highlighted. Next, moving on to my Milani eyebrow pencil, and this is in the dark brown, and eyebrows can be quite a thing, ladies. Everybody has their own technique for drawing their eyebrows, and I have very thin and sparse eyebrows, so I have to draw most of mine on for the most part. And I've found that thick eyebrows, it doesn't seem to go with my face too well. So I actually draw mine on quite thin, but it goes with my face and it helps to keep everything in balance. So at this point, I'm done with my eyebrows. And now comes the part for the oil control, ladies. We're going to get our Maybelline loose powder, and this is in the oil control in a medium, and we will spread that out and begin to buff that all over our face, making sure to get all the areas where we laid our foundation and also applying some under our neck area. And as we blend with that big fluffy brush, everything starts to blend together with the concealer, the highlighter. It all blends as you kind of buff it away. So using short strokes on my forehead area, I make sure to get my forehead and temples. And you just buff, buff, buff. At this point, this is when you'll need your powder puff and your Kleenex. So just any powder puff will do, any old Kleenex, and you put the powder puff into the Kleenex, into the napkin, and then you wrap the napkin up and begin to pat your face. Now this takes away any oil that might be on your face. This helps set your foundation, and it gives you a very matte finish without having to add any other powder to your foundation until maybe the end routine, which is when I do. When I'm done with my makeup, I usually go in one more time with my powder brush just to make sure everything is blended. But when I first do my foundation, this is my routine as I lay my foundation. And you will see that you do get quite a bit of oil and you do get some foundation. So this takes care of all that. And look at there, ladies, we are set and ready to apply our contour and the rest of our makeup. Have a wonderfully blessed day. Thank you for watching.